Okay, so what we're going to look at is what we call some body basics. So we're talking about body positioning now. So when we talk about being symmetrical, it's where I'm stood sideways on to the client. So I'm working in this avenue, this plane of motion. If I'm talking asymmetrical, I'm standing at a sideways angle where I'm now working up and down the body, and I'm using my body stance to be able to work that way. When we work, we always need to work using the body as efficiently as possible. So learn to use the body as opposed to the power of your arms. Fingers, thumbs will all tire if they're relentlessly having to work, as opposed to using your body weight to go into motions. And again, I use my body weight to drive through. So I'm always letting these be as relaxed as possible. That way they won't tire, and bring the body into it so it will efficiently push through the muscles and lengthen the muscles out, work the muscles, do what it is we want them to achieve without hurting the fingers and things, because these can tire very quickly, especially into the palms of the hands. So we have to use our body very efficiently. So the next stroke we're actually going to look at is our first basic stroke, which is what we call Effleurage. And it's a great way of warming the muscle up and also spreading the oil. A little bit of oil on my hands, and from there I can bring the body in, adopting that asymmetrical position, and I'm using my body now to drive up, come back down. So the hands are pushing up round the knee there, driving right the way up, right up to the bum cheek and back down. Okay, one hand's going over the top of the other, supporting each other, driving it backwards and forwards. This is no different if I was doing the back. I could be in that position and come back round, driving up the back. So I'm always driving with my little finger leading, pushing it back, bringing it back down, driving it up, using my body weight, coming back down, drive it up, back down. And that's Effleurage in its basic form. So the next stroke we're going to look at is what we call Petrissage. There's various types we can do in it. There's kneading, lymphatic rolling, stripping or ringing, whichever you want to call it, squeezing, pick up. So I'm going to go through them and show you them. So the first thing we're going to look at is kneading. Now we can do single hand kneading or double hand kneading. So when we're talking about kneading, we're actually getting hold of the actual muscle fibres and working down them and squeezing down them. So on a single hand knead, I'll do it just on the calf just so you can see there, I'm actually squeezing in, running back over the top, squeezing in. So if I then go to, again, I'm still using my body weight, so I'm rocking into it, trying to let my body do the work as opposed to driving through the arms. Now I'm going to bring both arms into it. So in that action, I've got a sway action going on, a little bit like a crab, the way the crabs work, with the claws working away. And that's all we're doing, we're getting in, squeezing the muscle and using my body weight to sway. So it's all through the knees, body stays in the same position and it drives it through. Our next little stroke is what we call lymphatic roll. So all we're doing, hand comes right over the body, the limb, I squeeze it up and then I roll the thumbs, keeping the thumbs where they are, I move my hands, roll it some more and do the same again. Work my way down the muscle, like so. I'll do it on this side so you can kind of see what's actually happening. So I get hold of the muscle, lift it up and then I roll my thumbs, take the hands further over, roll them again, take the hands over. So I'm pushing the fluid round into the actual lymphatic vessels, which predominantly run, they do follow all your veins, but predominantly up the insides of your legs and things. So that's your lymphatic roll. The next one is what we call stripping or ringing, because in sports massage there's a specific type of stripping, so it's better to term it ringing really. And literally I'm using the web of the hand, so I'm actually pushing onto it, the muscle like that, a little bit like a Chinese burn, but without applying that sort of pain. And then it's just a quick little one, side to side, so we're making the muscle fibres rub against each other, possibly breaking any adhesions that might be there. So I'll work my way, and I'd work my way around the muscle, using the web of my hand to put the pressure on, and that would be ringing or stripping. Next one we've got is squeezing. So literally I can get hold of muscles in between my fingers and my thumbs, squeeze it. Whether that's on the upper leg, doesn't matter, I can get into it and squeeze it, or I can take it between two hands and squeeze like that. And that's just another little technique we use. And then another one is what we call pick up. So it's very similar to kneading, but this time I want to get hold of the muscle and pull off it. Get hold of it, so I'm lifting it away from the bone and then pull off it. So you may see this a little bit better if I just lift the leg up. So then I get hold and then I'm pulling off. We usually do it when the muscle's hanging away from the bone a little bit. Doesn't work as well this way on, but it would work brilliantly if we had the leg or the client turned the other way over. And that's doing pick up. So the next technique we're going to look at is what we call Tapotment, and it's a kind of drum, it's based off drums anyway, kind of thing, and there's 3 different ways of doing it: hacking, cupping and beating. There is a fourth one, sorry, but we don't use that one very much in this sort of massage. It's more done on Indian head massage. So the first one is obviously hacking. So we need a nice loose hand. Forearms stay pretty level to the customer, the client. So I'm going to get down nice and loose, and from there the hands are just going to work nice and comfortably, nice and relaxed, just up and down the muscle. So I could do that there, I could do that on the calf. Obviously the less muscle, the less force that's actually applied. Like so. Nice and comfortable action, loose fingers, so it's just slapping into it. Again, body needs to squat down so that my forearms are pretty much horizontal. And so you can see it a little bit better from that side. And that's your hacking. Next little one is what we call cupping. So the hands need to be in a cup action. What we're trying to do is capture air at the same time. So again, body needs to drop down, so forearms pretty level. And that's cup. Very good for the nerves. Again, big muscles get cupped. Calf may not cup that one because it's not very big. Depends on the client. And your last one is beating. So if I'd been hacking, I'm hacking the leg. I'm coming to the big muscles now, real big muscles. So hacking's not going to do much on there. So we've got what we call beating. And again, clenched fist but loosely clenched. So you can kind of see how my hands are. The fingers are still loose. And from there, same principle. I work the big muscle. And then from there I can drop back down, so I can bring the two in together at the same time, and that's Tapotment. So we're going to look at the sports massage basics now. There's a few different types of techniques: compression, vibration, shearing, friction and deep strokes. The first one we're going to look at is what we call compression. So there's quite a few ways we can do this, either with the hands, the fist, the forearm. I could use my knee if I wanted to. Yeah, we can use anything to create that compression. The muscle's a little bit like a sponge, so we're going to squash it out and it'll then suck back in. Squash out, suck back in as we do that compression. Very good for the muscle. So if I'm going to do it with the hands, hands come over, one over the other. And the hand would go down onto the big muscle, and from there I would apply downward pressure through the body, so this stays nice and still and the body brings the force into it. So I'd bring down, I'd move up a bit further, compress, move up a bit further, and I might repeat that a few times. Do it with the fist, no different, so I might support the wrist this time just to make sure it's well supported and I don't damage it. From there, downward pressure again, body stance stays the same, asymmetrical. Push down again, push down again, and again I can go to the forearm, so the forearm would come on, that would put the compression on, so I'm getting a much broader compression this time. Move it up again, and the same again. And that's how we do compression. Next one we're going to look at is what they call vibration. So I'm going to go onto the calf muscle, and again this is done one-handed, and it's a side-to-side action, and we're creating a vibration effect within the muscle. So we need to really support the bone here, keep it stable, and then from there it's a nice sideways action. Can go to the outside for me, but you might not see that as well. Again, you've got to think of your body positioning, side to side there, and then round to that side. So I've adjusted my body position to allow us to work on the inside of the leg there much better, and that's what we call vibration. The next one we have is what they call shearing, very similar to vibration, but we're going to use two hands. So my left hand has come over, it's my fingers that are on, my right hand at the side of it, so I'm positioning at the side of it in that sort of action, using the palm of my hand on that one. So that's going to pull back with my fingers, push with my forearms to create that twisting effect on the muscle. Alternate, 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 and obviously that would get much quicker to work, and we can work down the muscle, back up. So that's shearing. Okay, so we're carrying on now on the basics, sports massage basics. So the first thing we're going to look at is what we call friction. So this is brilliant because it loosens tight tissue, it breaks down adhesions and scar tissue, it realigns tissues, it normalises injured tissue, and it encourages repair. And there's various ways we can do it. It's quite specific work in where we'll be working on a specific place. So one way we can do it is I can just do single thumb in that motion, working away, working on maybe a bit of scar tissue or an adhesion there. If it's quite hard work for me, the other way to do it is with my fingers splayed out for support and get it in like that. I could have one thumb on top of the other with my fingers splayed out to give a bit more reinforcement there to help that work away. I can have single thumb on top of the fingers, so there like that, and I can get my fingers in on top of it. It's all variations of it. If need to, I can get elbow in, bit of elbow on there, friction that, work that away. So whenever we talk about friction later on the videos, I might just show you using the thumb, but we can do various other things for it. And failing that, we can have what we call a therapist's thumb, and there, this takes all the strain out of it, and I could be in there and work away to my heart's content with taking the strain off my thumb. Next thing we're going to look at is what we call deep strokes. So again, these are great for separating fascia tissue, breaking down adhesions, building stronger mobile muscles and realigning tissues. And again, where we can do this, assisted thumbs, so hand over hand like that, driving up, so my body weight's being pushed onto the thumb, so it's reinforced, so we're assisting it in the work we do. We can also do our fist, so again, nice clenched fist, lock it into my body, driving up the actual tissue, using my fist to do it. I can have the heel of my hand, so just heel of the hand in, driving in, again using my body weight to do that. Assisted hands we've covered, hand over hand, one on top of the other. I can then get forearm in, again, nice soft part of the forearm, or bony part. Bony part can cause a lot of pain, so try to get the soft part in and drive that one up. Can also have elbows. This works better on the back, and from there I would drive the elbow up the muscle tissue. I can work directly over the muscle, so in that position come right over it and pushing down it, down across it. And then I can also do, which obviously doesn't work well on the leg, it's more for a back exercise, but if you can imagine, I'm now fingers hooked into the muscle, and I'm pulling back across the muscle now, leaning back, straight armed, and easing back. So these are all techniques that we could do when we do sports massage.